I really want us to do something, like, even all of us here and stuff like that. Like, that would be fun to go somewhere on Friday after work. And go.
I don't know.
The next day is the Ike Maxwell thing. Are you going?
That's right, it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. Jordan's dad's coming home.
I've been asked to record from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
That'll
what's
be
up,
fun.
family? Give me 1 minute while I share this.
No, we're gonna sing everything
And
tonight.
then, fuck no. Oh man, I'm not about to do this.
Lord.
No, Lord.
Oh, it's delayed again.
Duh. Swear it, children. This is the only part about going live on YouTube that I hate, is because there's like no easy way to there we go, to just go live across all platforms. I forgot. Goofiness. All right, there we go. What is your proof of concept? Bear with me, family. Just one moment. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Just putting the tags in real quick. And we are about to go live. Well, we're already live. That it? That's it. That's what we're going to do right there. All right. Pull this up. Pull this up. There we go. There we go. There we go. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Fuck it. No. I ain't even gonna worry about that. Pull that up. What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of Candid Conversation. Of course, I'm your host, Marc D, aka Mr. Candid. Right next to me is Amanda Sword, aka Miss Pearl. If y'all don't know the backstory about Miss Pearl, go watch the previous episodes. But y'all see the tank top. Fuck your feelings. People that know me personally and individually know that is one of my favorite sayings, especially when we get into an intense conversation and dialogue, and just to bring humor into the conversation. I'm always saying, fuck your feelings, tell me what you think. So I made merch on it. So if you want to support the podcast, if you want to support the YouTube channel, reach out to Amanda. Do not contact me for any merch. Please. Everything goes to her. She'll get you squared away. She'll put your order in. We order product every Tuesday. So if your order is not in by Monday midnight, you're going to have to wait till the following week to get your order in. But this is what the t-shirts look like. This is the gray one. Amanda has the black and red one. Like I said, fuck your feelings. Tell me what you think. All right, so that's just one. The Candid Conversations, Mr. Candid coffee mug. Like I said, we are creating merch, family. All right, for those who want to support the podcast, because we do want to upgrade our equipment. And we need your help. So go over to Anchor. You can donate. You can purchase merch to help us build on what we're already doing, so we can bring you better content, more professional looking content. But, you know, like I said at the beginning 3 years ago, you know, the family has watched this show grow tremendously, you know, and I always appreciate y'all tuning in, you know, subscribing, hitting the like button, sharing the episode. Agree or disagree, I could care less. I'm just bringing you content. But we just gonna get right into it. Oh, before I forget, in September, we're gonna bring the family a huge announcement. Ethan West, which those who have followed the show since the beginning, he is the original co-host, and I'm always constantly running ideas by him and everything. So he still helps with the production, and you know, he lets me know what needs to be tweaked a little bit and everything. So he's working on something right now that we're definitely going to need the family's assistance with. So we're going to bring that to you the end of September, after Labor Day.
It's been beginning of September.
Or is it the beginning?
Yeah.
Beginning of September. I'm sorry. So middle of September, we're gonna come with y'all. I got special guests. Ethan West is gonna be sitting on that panel that day, and I got 2 more gentlemen that's gonna be coming in and sitting on the panel. And we gonna have a grown folks, grown man motherfucking discussion, and that's what we gonna do. Community building. The men that I surround myself with, all of us are a part of our communities. We do work in the community. So we're going to bring that topic of discussion to you. What it looked like being a man, fatherhood, and understanding that a man is only worth what his net worth looks like. The extension of his network is his net worth. So we're going to discuss that on that day. So just stay tuned. Like I said, a huge announcement that Mr. Ethan West is going to bring to the family. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, if you want to support the show with the Fuck Your Feelings t-shirt, reach out to Amanda. She'll take care of you, get you squared away, let you know what you need to do to move forward to get your product. We are still in the process of building a website where we're going to have more product available, from the coffee mug, from a water bottle, t-shirts, hoodies, because we know we're going, especially in Northeast Ohio, we're going into football season and it gets chilly as fuck up here. So I want you to stay warm and you know, look slick doing it. So that's what we're working on. Now, y'all see the topic of discussion. Let's get into it. So, as far as a concept in a relationship, everybody has their own personal concept of what a relationship looks like, supposed to look like, their expectations of it, the bullshit that they learn from their family, that they've taken into every relationship that they done fucked up. So let's talk about the concepts, and then we're going to talk about the proof that we look for to solidify those concepts in our relationships. So what are some of the toxic concepts that you've learned from your family?
I mean, I don't necessarily know that it's necessarily a toxic concept, but the relationships that like surround people, or me in general, might be pushed on me, or might be like I might want to, you know, emulate those relationships, but maybe I'm just not maybe they're not for me, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to sit there and look at my sister and her, and her husband maybe, or I'm looking at other people and trying to match what they have, but I'm not either one of them. So examples that are put in front of you that we try to be or create, we might not be meant to create those, but those are the examples that we have, and it's almost like if we don't do that, if we don't have, if you don't ever find someone to get married, it's almost like in some families or in some situations, it's like it's, oh, well, you never got married, or you have a kid and you're not married, what I'm saying, like you might try and like match what's around you, and it just might not be meant for you,
and it is taboo. And following along with what you just explained, when it comes, one of the things that I've noticed is that for a lot of women, it's easier to be a parent versus having a functioning relationship. And it's almost as if a lot of women are more afraid to get to choose a suitor at a particular time in her life versus than having a child. And it's funny because there's a book I just ordered. I can't think of the name of it, but it actually discusses that. Was it The Promises We Keep? Which
you told me about that.
The author did research while actually going out and speaking with single mothers, and they found it easier to be a mother than to be in a relationship. And even as men, the toxicity that we learn from our families, whether it be from our mother, from our father, is that of single parenthood, because 75% of the population has been born out of wedlock. That's across all races, all cultures. 75% has been born out of wedlock. Now, you take that number and you don't see a functioning marriage, but you see a lot of baby mamas and baby daddies. That's what you're going to end up emulating eventually. May not be the first relationship, second relationship, but eventually we're going to emulate that. And now it's been made so easy to jump out of marriage, but we make it so easy to jump out of marriage that nobody is sticking in there. And so you have people who have been in situationships longer than they've been married. And it's almost, nowadays, it's almost as if somebody say they're married, that's almost taboo.
Well, it's funny that you said the baby mama, comment, because I have seen lately so many people who are together, who are in a relationship, and they have a kid, and that is what they're calling that is what they're like putting on Facebook and calling each other and using that and as a joking around and stuff. But I mean, they're together, they're just not married, but that's what they're referring to their significant other as, is my baby mama, or whatever. And I mean, it's just, that's the norm.
And that's a fucked up norm.
I know.
Because the first sense of a village as a child is your mother and father. Then it reaches out to immediate family. Then it reaches out to the community. We don't have a village anymore. So this feeling-based society that has been normalized, in my opinion, has fucked up the relationship structure. Mm-hmm. Because now it's almost to say, I want to have your baby, but I don't want to be with you.
No, you're right. No, that's like a very true statement. I don't really have anything to I have nothing to counter that because, I feel like, and even you, I feel like a lot of people do want to have children or women, you'll say, a lot of women even are out there that, single women that are in their, 30s or 40s, they'll even go and, try and have a kid by themselves, without a partner and stuff. And that's really, that right there is making a statement, pretty much like, I don't need another half, or I don't need a partner. I don't need someone to help me. And that's, that's not necessarily, a good,
no, it isn't, and so what we do is, I talk about it all the time, is that children judge their parents' relationship through the eyes of a child, because we're guilty of that. We look at our parents' relationships. We don't know what the verbal exchange was, what the dialect was exchanged between them to get them to a physical altercation, but because society has indoctrinated us that regardless of, a woman can do anything without any repercussions in today's society. She can put her hands on a man, she can denigrate him, she can disrespect him on all levels, but then when the same energy is returned, well, you're a man. Mm-hmm. So it's okay for her to put her hands on me without any repercussions. And I'm not advocating for domestic violence.
No.
None whatsoever. I am advocating for accountability.
And change, yeah.
Keep your hands, everyone keep their hands to yourself. Mm-hmm. Point blank, period. But don't sit up here, you're more vulnerable than me as a man, jump in my face, spit, put your hands on me, words, okay, but you're verbally abusive, psychologically abusive, emotionally abusive, and I hear women all the time, you can take it, you're a man. Bitch, please.
No, I don't agree with that. To go back to your comment about the eyes of the children and to tie in with what you're just saying, I feel like, yes, if that relationship and that's happening in front of a kid, 100%, that relationship is not what that kid should stay a part of, and that and they should part ways, and hopefully they can still parent that kid. And it also, I feel like, ties into your village, because I feel like a kid might be able to then see what a relationship, is supposed to look like from other people, because maybe they're not getting it at home. So that's why you have a lot of different people that all they saw was a toxic relationship growing up, or they only saw one parent growing up. Mm-hmm. So that's all that that's what they're going to go through their life and either think, is what they want or think is what is normal. So to have other, people influence you along the way to maybe give you an example. Okay, these are different examples of what you could get and what you might want. Right. Instead of only having, I grew up with both my parents in my home for my whole childhood. And so, yes, like when I think about a relationship, I do think about maybe, obviously like they didn't work out in the end, but my whole life they were together. So that was all I saw was a 2-parent home. So yes, when people are like, well, maybe that's just all maybe you don't really know what you want, because you just think that that's what you want, because that's all you were exposed to.
See, and let's, you know how fucked up that sounds? You come from a 2-parent household, and someone tells, instead of encouraging you, you know what? Yes, because a 2-parent household is the glue and the structure of the community to build a family within. They're telling you, well, you don't know what you want. No, I do, because I saw the strengths of my mother and I saw the strengths of my father. Did they have their own demons that they were dealing with? Of course, they're adults. they went through life.
Well, and that, I feel like that goes to your proof of concept, okay? Because, my concept is I do want to be in a monogamous relationship, and my proof of that is from living it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I lived that, and so I know 100%. So to me, when I'm looking for someone, if they don't want that, then I can't continue to stay in, to give my energy to someone knowing that they don't necessarily want that. But they might, but everything else, and maybe our relationship is strong, but to continue to stay in something where it's very tangible, it's very in my face that I know that is not something that they want, but my proof, I'm saying, like, I know I want that, and to continue to stay in that, knowing that it's probably never going to happen, like that, that doesn't make any sense. So that's, I feel like that ties into your original statement.
As far as the concept.
Yes.
But the original question was toxic concepts that we learned from our family.
Okay, well, that's not toxic. You're
exactly.
Right. That's what that's the positive.
Some of the toxic concepts that I was shown, and understanding that, of course, this is from the eyes of a child, is I saw, even with different members of my family, they were married. They were independently married.
Yeah.
And
separate bedrooms. I've heard a lot of different things like that.
You know what I'm saying? Well, not separate bedrooms, but they chose each other for whatever reason, but it was just whatever.
Maybe convenient.
Yeah. We all, at some point in time, we all have to make a decision, especially, at the age that we're at. We don't get puppy love no more. Puppy love was the shit that you go through in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? The fairy tales, the unicorns, that's the shit you get in your 20s. When you're in your 40s, you pick you pick the best candidate for the job and you roll with it. And that's what it is. And you stand 10 toes down on your decision. If it don't work out, okay, fine. It didn't work. But we put in time to see if we were compatible. Now, I grew up in church. And one of the things that I often saw, it goes back to the same thing. Women were not held to the same accountability standard as men. And I get it. Men were held to a certain criteria because you're the leader of the family. I completely get and understand that. But both have to be accountable for their reactions, for their actions, for their decisions, for the things that come out of their mouth, and that's just it. But I didn't see that often. I didn't see that a lot in the church, and I saw men get hung by their testicles and women running around here with 2-3 different kids by 2-3 different baby daddies and being praised. But then a man in ministry, for whatever reason, decided to sleep with one of the parishioners, he get crucified. But she had to say, come fuck with me, in order for him to do it. So you're going to hold him accountable and then soothe and pamper her.
Oh, and that has to be like that has to be really hard to wrap your head around as a kid. So, obviously if you grew up with that, so that's through your eyes, that's what you saw, and that's what you take into, obviously your adult life.
And then being in ministry in church, because I was so close in ministry, I saw more. And the reason, I've touched on it, but one of the reasons why I left the church is because the church for what it was intended for was not that any longer. The church I didn't see getting family pushed. I didn't see married women in church being told, go home to your husband. You know, and I didn't hear and witness, you know, soon as church was over, a married woman rushing home to her husband and loving on her husband. No, she was at church for another 2-3 hours. Why? What for? You come to church, you get your fill, you take your ass home to your husband. You don't go home to your husband and tell your husband what the pastor said, because now you're bringing another man's word in your husband's home. You're going to create hell.
Well, that's a different way to look at it.
So these were toxic concepts. And going back to the proof of your concept, when I saw marriage, when I saw the things and heard the things that solidified my concept, that was my proof. So my concept of marriage was, my indoctrinated concept of marriage was tainted. Because when it came to my first marriage, it was, she chose the church over her marriage. And so the pastor at the time, when we were going through our issues, instead of counseling us as a married couple, we were counseled as independently married. And so our marriage was bound to fail from that point on, because the ministries that she was in and the ministries that I were in, they said we needed her more. And when you look at the church, 85% of a lot of churches are women. The men are tired of the bullshit and they're leaving. Men today, going back to what is your proof of concept? A lot of men, because of the toxic proof of relationships and marriage, is running from it. We still want it, but what we're hearing, women want an old-fashioned man to give her new fashion, to allow her to have new fashion concepts. But when it comes to her, if he's looking for an old-fashioned woman to have her accept him with new it's a problem. You know, and just the last show we was on, we talked about what women are looking for in a relationship. Take your thoughts and those points, and in a relationship today, do you see the type of woman that you are beneficial or toxic? No, just not besides yourself, just the characteristics that you hold. You understand what I'm asking? Because I don't want you to personalize it,
and I'm going to, because
I know,
and I'm trying not to. So so explain it to me again, as far as.
All right, so the characteristics that I hold as a man, that I've grown into, if that was multiplied in 100 men within a 2-mile radius, there would be a lot of divorcees, especially with the mindset and concepts of modern day women. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, who coined that phrase, modern day women. So modern day women's concepts and an old fashioned man's concepts.
So, okay, so I do understand it, and to be 100%, my characteristics are very, like, so I'm just gonna say my characteristics are very old school. Like I always quote, and I like to use, like, I think it's Destiny's Child, I'm not really sure, I can't remember, the song where it's catered to you, because that is what I like, that's who I am in a relationship. So honestly, like, those characteristics in me, I feel like do make for, like, successful, like, wife and relationship.
Now, you know, some women would call you a pick-me.
What does that mean?
So, basically, it's a derogatory term in womanese. Shout out to Rolo Tomasi and Fresh and Fit podcast when they talk about womanese. When women see other women with old-fashioned characteristics, and just like you said, you want a relationship where you can freely cater to your man.
100%. And
they would call you a pick-me. Because it's like, well, that's not the norm. The norm is independent woman. You find you a man who is going to bow down and submit to you, which, when it comes to relationships, it don't work.
No, and I've never been like that. Like, and I feel like, honestly, that's when you always say, like, you know, woman's worth and what you bring to the table. Like, for me, that's it. Like, that's one of the biggest things that I bring is I want to be someone's peace at home. I want them to come home and not have to lift a finger. And it's hard for me, though, to get in relationships because I feel like I don't get to show, like, you know, I don't get to show that side, or obviously right away, because you're not in those situations with that person to where you're really given that, you know, opportunity to do that stuff necessarily, like, until you get further in your relationship. Obviously you can do things and show them. I'm just saying,
no,
like,
continue, because I want you to continue on the path that you're on, because I'm about to show the family the difference in what women think and who men are. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, I feel like a lot of the times I struggle from getting to get into a relationship because there's things within me that I, you know, like my anxiety and different things that I struggle with to actually, like, let a relationship get that far. Because when it gets that far, then that's where I feel like I'm the most comfortable and the most able to show truly who I am and what I have to offer and what I want to give to them. But I do feel like the leading up to that, the situations don't necessarily allow me to fully be who I am and what I have to offer.
Now, family, she said feelings 5 times. Reach out, get the merch.
My shirt's gonna say I feel too much.
Yeah, we're working on that too. Here's the thing. The reason why women have an issue is when an issue with getting to the point where they feel where y'all feel that y'all can cater to your man. When it comes to men, you had your opportunities and you blew. Because y'all are waiting for a proof of concept in order to do it, and we're like, do the shit from the jump.
No, and I agree with you, and I'm not saying that I don't do that stuff, but I'm saying, like, obviously there's more to come, and there's more, like, obviously when the relationship grows, there's more opportunities when you spend more time with them, or when your lives, you know, maybe combined, or you are, like, you know, living together, or seeing each other more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, so I'm not saying that I don't still do that or try and take advantage of opportunities that I have. I'm just saying the full, like, all of me and what I have to offer isn't able to be shown.
Here's the thing. Men know where you're going to be compartmentalized within 1 to 3 months of talking with you, dealing with you, however you want to phrase it and word it. We know between month 1 and month 3 what category you're about to go in. Because the opportunities that was given, we're looking to see if you are going to take advantage of that particular opportunity. If you can't take advantage of that opportunity, you ain't even got to worry about a serious relationship. That's not going to happen. And that's the compartment that we're going to put you in. And so many women are like, well, if we can just, no, because you had your opportunity. So we're like, we're good, on to the next. Like, y'all don't realize how sharp we are when it comes to y'all. Because we know what we want. If it's not given, okay, on to the next. And because when it comes to relationships, just like I said earlier, we're looking for the best match. Not the perfect match, the best match. So, you always hear me ask, outside of the yoni, what does a woman bring to the table? What value does she add to that man? Because if that man already has his own business, how do you add to his business? If he has his own life already, what do you add to his life? In order for him to say, you're a good fit. Because if he's telling you, because see, here's the thing. Each man gets with a woman and he molds her into his future, not his present, into his future. You have to come with the raw materials first. So if a man don't see those raw materials, you don't have to worry about the future because those raw materials aren't even available in you.
No, I agree with that.
So that's where so many of y'all get caught up because men judge women based on reality, not based on, we look at her reality, we hear her reality. I've talked with multiple women and I'm like, oh, you really think you worth that? Okay. Have you had an opportunity to get it? Well, I've had suitors. Why didn't you choose? And you know the infamous saying, God gonna send them to me. Mm-hmm. You had your opportunities. Goes back to a person stranded out, the parable, the person stranded out on the water. Prays and says, God, send me help. They're fucking doggy paddling on a wooden plank and God send me some help. Okay. A rowboat comes by. No, I'm waiting. God is going to send me somebody. The rowboat goes. All right. A yacht comes by. Sir, do you need help? No, I'm still. God is going to send me my help. You sure? We got time. No, it's okay. Okay, the yacht goes. Now you got a cruiser come by. Cargo cruiser. Sir, look. We're the last ship that's coming by tonight. We see you out here. We can let down. Somebody come and help you. No, I'm still waiting on God. Then they die, get to heaven, and they say, God, well, why didn't you? He said, I sent you 3 opportunities. Women are doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. They're having their opportunities and won't make a choice. And then you get to the point where in a man's eyes, your value has decreased because what we see initially, your looks, your body, and then as soon as you open your mouth. If we can't get past those 3, you ain't got to worry about us wanting to know who you are. I know women who don't work out. who don't eat right talking about I want a fit man. What? God's gonna send me somebody just for me. What? The expectation and standards you have,
Yeah.
that man ain't even gonna pay attention to you. Men are visual first. Women like vision, like the visual, but y'all always y'all talking about fucking vibes.
I wouldn't say vibes, but like, you know, I know what you're saying. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, I mean, do you mean like connection or just like the energy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that. Womanese.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying.
Fellas, understand that when women talk about vibe, connectivity, and what was the other word that you used? Use another. Energy. When women say that, what they're really saying is, am I sexually attracted to you? That's what they mean by that. So when women say that, you know what, that vibe, that connection is out there, sir, she's not sexually attracted to you.
No, that's a thing. But I mean, no.
That's why I say a womanese.
Yeah, it's a thing because I actually like just talked about like with someone. I was like, you know, we were talking about just different people and types and stuff, and like just someone's like even just their like if someone just has like a swag about them or just a different, you know what I'm saying, just something that just sets them different. Like, I mean, that's attractive. Like, you know what I'm saying, that's like attractive. But there's been situations that I've been in that someone's been super nice, like, you know, great guy and has maybe everything that I was looking for. But if I'm not attracted, I would literally I would find the dumbest things to find wrong about them because I wasn't, but that's a big thing though. I mean, they don't have to be
for y'all.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, but you said too. Obviously, you have to no, because you said too. You obviously have to be like, you know, obviously a woman. What'd you say? Like their body, their like, you know, their face and stuff like that. So I'm saying, if I'm not attracted to you,
when we see her, our thing is, I want to see what that be like.
Yeah. And then so why can't I say? So I mean, so obviously, I'm gonna be with that forever.
After we fuck. Then when you open your mouth, I want to see if I want to continue to deal with you.
Yes, and I'm saying that when I'm
women they want to see all of this shit first before we have sex. Men are like, I want to have sex first.
No, I'm not saying that because I'm saying I'm not even going to get there if I'm not attracted to you. Yeah,
you can be physically attracted to a man, and like you said, if the vibe is not there, it don't matter.
No. I'm saying the vibe can even be there, but if I'm not attracted to you, then I'm gonna find something. You could be that perfect. You could have everything that I've wrote down on my checklist, but if I'm not attracted to you,
the infamous checklist.
No, did you see the
I
quotes?
did
that for you. I'm saying the so-called checklist that we have in our head of what the man is supposed to look like is what I'm saying. I mean, they can have all those things. But if I'm not attracted to you, I mean, I'm just not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to get there and to stay there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that is important for women.
I know what you're saying. What's important? Most of y'all don't even know what's important. What y'all are looking for is a man who is an alpha and a beta. That you're looking for that man to be alpha and beta. Alpha, who's going to fuck the shit out of you, and beta, who's going to meet all of your emotional needs and going to massage your feet and caress your hair, make you feel a certain type of way. That's the perfect man for every woman.
I'm not going to disagree. I mean,
but here's the thing.
But I've been around and encountered both kinds, and
so take it away from you.
Yeah.
a lot of women have experienced both sides of the coin. But here's the problem. Most women are married to the beta. Because the alpha, they can't control. They can't, what's the word that I'm looking for? Doggone it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. They can't convert. Alphas will never convert over to a woman's perspective of a relationship. A beta will. Because why? The yoni is put on a pedestal. But y'all are not getting that. Y'all don't have that urge to be nasty with a beta. Y'all have that urge to be nasty with an alpha. Because even though that alpha is going to give you that nasty, if he has business to take care of, he will get up, get dressed, walk the fuck out. I'll see you another day. And you sitting there like, what, I wasn't good enough? Oh no, you was great. I got business to take care of. Priorities, sweetie, priorities. And women are stuck because they're like, but I thought if I put this thing on you, if I flipped it up, if I swang from the chandeliers, you would stay. For a beta like, oh, baby, what you want? I'm gonna say, oh, you want me to go make you a sandwich? You want me to go make you breakfast? So, goes back to the concept. Alpha seeds, beta needs.
No, I mean, I completely see that. And the thing that I maybe not even struggle with, but I mean, I feel like I can kind of like just have this conversation with you and ask you, like, because I'm not a man and I'm not an alpha, so I mean, I feel like, do you think? So I mean, do you feel like there's ever? Do you think that there's ever a moment though that like, so why does it have to be, okay, like you said, you know, an alpha, you know, does this thing. I guess I feel like, is there ever a moment when there's that medium ground to where, because you said, you know, a beta is gonna, like, you know, so you said a woman wants the alpha to do, you know, the nasty, and then the beta to have the feelings. Can an alpha be that and then also show a sensitive side of himself though, and still maintain that alpha?
I'm gonna tell you a curse word in womanese language that most women don't want to hear. You gotta earn that shit. You gotta prove to me, like I said, you have to prove to me that you're worth it. You don't get that shit up front. Who I am, who everyone else sees, that's who you get. Once you've shown me that you brought an added value within my life, then you don't get vulnerability, but you get sensitivity.
How, I guess for me, how are you supposed to show your added value if you're maybe not put in situations to show that? I know you touched on that earlier.
A woman is always put in an opportunity to show a man that she adds value to him. The problem is, and this is why the main topic at hand is so important, what is your proof of concept? Because women continue to look for a particular proof of their concept in order to, okay, well, this is my opportunity. No, your opportunity has been from day one. The moment that he said, call me at a certain time, that was your opportunity to show that you add value. Okay, you know what? Let me call. He told me to call him at 8 o'clock. I'm going to call him at 7:59. Because what you're showing him is, I respect your position in life enough that I'm not about to disrespect your time. Mm-hmm. Because you telling me to call you at 8, I might only have 5 minutes to speak with you. You might have a conference call. You might, if you got kids, you might have something to do with the children. You have other things to do in your life. Mm-hmm. I'm not your priority. Could I possibly be a priority? Of course. But you have to prove that to me. That's, like I said, from day one, women have the opportunity to show what value do she have. Because if I see that you respect my time, when I have free time, now I'm going to be inclined to hit you up. What are you doing? Look, I got time between A and B. Are you available? That is another opportunity to show that you add value to him, because if you respect him enough, if you respect his time enough, you're going to make sure you show up early. And a man like me and of higher caliber men, higher status men, if a woman's late, it's over. You don't respect me and my time. Why would I sit here? Well, now, if you reach out and say, I'm going to be 15 minutes late, are we still able to, do we still have enough time to spend or do said objective? You still respect my time. Because you called and informed me in enough time that you were going to be late. But if you wait 15 minutes later, 15 minutes after the time that I gave you, I can't put up with that, because you don't respect me nor my time.
You know, I see that.
So that's why I said women up front have an opportunity to show a man her worth and what value she adds to him. And the concept, another question that goes into the main topic of what is your proof of concept, are we oftentimes in denial and delusional when it comes to relationships? Because it goes back to excuse me, it goes back to some of the toxic conceptions and ideologies and constructs that we learned coming up in our family as a child. And then as adults, we just embodied what we learned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I feel that honestly, like a toxic proof of concept growing up that I see and hear, I've heard a ton, even outside of.
It's monogamy.
No.
That's monogamy's toxic as fuck. No,
no, it's not. Honestly, I've heard so many people, and truly it was, you know, it was something that I think my parents did as well. Was we're gonna stay married until the kids are grown, or until they're out of the house, and that's, you know, it's like, so you said through the eyes of the, you know, of the children. I mean, if they had it in their head, you know, at 13, 14, 15 years old, that they're just waiting 3 more years until we got out of the house, can't tell me that what was being done in front of us or the kids was necessarily always positive or, you know, in the eyes of the child. So I feel like that's something, you know, that, and even, you know, I think in, you know, relationship that I had, you know, I think that was something that I held on to, where it was like, okay, well, I'm going to wait, or I'm going to stay, or, you know, maybe the whole thought or idea of, you know, divorce or separation is looked at as failure, or, you know, giving up too soon. But what's too soon?
But because I know that particular situation, that's different. Going back to our parents.
Yeah.
Them staying together until y'all were out of the house, I commend them. And the reason why I commend them is because say it was 5 of y'all. Say it was 3 boys, 2 girls. The boys got to see what it takes to be a man. The girls got to see what it's like if mom was feminine, if mom took care of the house, if she had a part-time job and took care of the house, and, dad worked 2 jobs and made sure the house. So y'all got to see both dynamics.
100%.
That's why I commend parents who stay together until the children are gone. Once the children are gone, they're adults. You've done your job. Now, y'all make the decision, okay, you know what? Are we going to continue and work on this, or are we just going to call it quits now? That's a decision that those parents have to have. Now, the con in that is if parents are verbally abusive, physically abusive, and just toxic in that nature, then of course, okay, it's time to call it quits, because, I've seen things escalate. I would always suggest seek spiritual counseling, seek clinical counseling, first and foremost, to see if that relationship can be mended. If it can't, then okay, you got to do what's best for the unit. Not just for you as an individual, but for the unit. What tends to happen is that parents who realize that the relationship is a bust, they have children involved, is that instead of being mature enough and saying we're going to stay together, now they start nitpicking at one another. They start creating a toxic situation. And men most of the times will just shut the fuck down. I'm gonna come home, this is where I sleep. I'm gonna make sure the kids see dad come home every night. I'm gonna go out with the fellas after work. Might be at the bar, might be at happy hour, and then by the time I come in, I see you before I go take a shower and go to bed. But within that dynamic, the kids saw dad come home every fucking night. So they can't say, I ain't know where dad was. No, dad came home every night. So there's always moving pieces within every relationship. But I always encourage, if you have children within a marriage, if there's some way to make it work, make the fucking relationship work until they're gone. Because children need to see mommy being mommy and daddy being daddy. They need to see you interacting respectfully, even though it may not be with and in love, it still need to be respectful.
100%.
So yeah, I can see, like I said, there's a pro and a con to that. And there's so many concepts that, one of the toxic concepts that I see prevalent in today's society, I look at a lot of women, and obviously and this is what happens when strong-willed women marries and have children with a beta, is you see the girls become more masculine versus feminine. And I see that a lot. A lot. And then women wonder why. First of all, they don't know how to not challenge a man, because if you come at any man, well, not any man, if you come at a man in masculine energy, he's going to respond in kind. It's just our nature. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. You come to me in masculine energy, we gonna throw these things. You can't come in my personal space being aggressive and me not going to protection mode.
Yeah.
And I've always said, and I've heard countless women say, you catch more bees with honey. Mm-hmm. But a lot of young ladies in today's generation and society don't understand that concept whatsoever. They think femininity is a fucking weakness. That is your strength. That is your power. Mm-hmm. The masculine needs feminine. The feminine needs masculine. Mm-hmm. Even in a same-sex relationship, one is going to be more masculine, the other one's going to be more feminine. It's just nature. So, we can talk about the proof of concept all night. Mm-hmm. Family, I ask you, what is your concept about relationship that you continually look for proof for to solidify that concept? Negative or positive? Whether you're in a relationship or looking for a relationship. What is the negative concepts? What are the positive concepts that you look for proof of concept to solidify that concept? And take that and ask yourself, is this the reason why my relationship is falling apart? And if you're looking for a relationship, is this the reason, as a woman, is this the reason why I can't find a man, and the men that I find, I can't keep him? Because I've had this conversation with women before. Women have options, men have options. The difference is men's options, because men want to get sex out of the way first and foremost to see if we want to deal with you afterwards. The women that look for sex, for us, we don't care about. Women are looking for men who have their shit together for security. Understand that you're not the only woman that man has an option to. When it comes to women's options, ladies, your options are just the men that want to fuck you. It's not the options that men that want a relationship with you. And I know
that's so hard to wrap your head around, though. Like,
and I get that. I get that.
Really hard, because, and we've talked about this, and I get it. But either you can call it my ego, you can call it just like, so to kind of touch on when I say that, like, you know, all the things, you know, that maybe, you know, trying to get to know someone, and like just between, like, you know, just the anxiety and just trying to like let yourself, like, you know, just understand everything and just kind of be like in a comfortable place. Like the thought of like getting to know someone, you know how, I mean, obviously you know how women are, and like obviously, like, for the most part, when we get to know someone or are gonna have sex with you, we generally want to focus on that one person until we figure out if they're what we're looking for. When you just stated, and I know it's true, that a man has a couple of those things going on. Mm-hmm. So for a woman, so for me, it's, you know, like I said, the thought of that's in the back of your head, you know, and you know that, it's like, it's hard to relax and really, like, you know, be yourself 100%, because you know that other women are around, and other people, and essentially you're not, I don't want to say you have to be perfect, but you know that you know that, like, you know, what you're bringing and what you're showing all the time is also being matched up with what someone else is bringing and showing. So it makes you feel like you're on the chopping block. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard to really get to see the best parts of, do you know what I'm trying to say? It is hard to kind of like shine the light on the good parts of someone when,
no, it's not.
When you're...
It is because you're speaking from feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
It's not to us. It's 100% not hard to us. The way men think, the way we think, our woman should always be fighting for her position. Even if we choose you and we say
yes,
that, you know what, the agreement is we are going to, if you want monogamy, polygamy,
Polyamorous.
no, what is it? It's another word out there. So whatever agreement that y'all decide, a woman should always be, because of the ratio from women to men, you should always be fighting for your position.
No, and I get that.
If you're in a monogamous relationship, you should never feel comfortable about your relationship in this regard.
Yeah, no, and I get that.
My man, if I chose my man, it's 5 other women trying to get his attention.
Yes.
I'm always in competition with the women around my man.
And I get that, but I think for me, it's like, so the quotations around, like, once you're chosen or once that relationship has been, like, solidified in a sense, I feel like it doesn't take the pressure off. Like, it wouldn't make me stop fighting and being, and obviously, like, showing you the best of me that and what you need, but it would take the pressure off a little bit for me to know, okay, well, obviously you chose me and you had other options, so I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing and more, like, but I was chosen. So just that in itself is like, you can almost take a breath. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is...
No, right. And I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Most women don't do that. Most women go in a relationship, they look a certain way, their upkeep on their body is phenomenal, they're watching what they eat, they get in a relationship, they let their shit go. Men do the same thing. Most men let themselves go because most of the time they're working more. So about time they get done, but if you have a man that is taking care of 60-70% of the household bills, you have time to go to the gym, or even if it's just not going to the gym, get your ass up and go walk. Go on a bike trail. Do something.
Yeah.
Men are visual first. If 5 years down the road, we've been together, and Mr. Johnson don't stand at attention no more for you, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I'm not. If you got to put in 20 minutes of work to get Mr. Johnson to wave at you, I'm not attracted to you anymore. A woman needs to figure out if it's truly the physical attraction or if he is stressed out. Are you adding to that stress? Or are you relieving his stress? Because as a man, we can be stressed out and he just won't salute. But our woman can relax us and all of a sudden she kisses us and boom, it's off. It's to the races. Women have been taught, because their yoni is the prize, that if I'm standing, that it should always be ready. What? What? So you so egotistical that I can be tired as fuck, stressed out, and just not in the mood. I want to. Are you going to get me in the mood? But because you so egotistical, well, I should just be able to blow on it. Well, not at this moment in time. Let me see what that mouth do.
Oh my God.
But that's why I said a lot of women don't want to put in the work. They just, I'm woman. Here I am. I got 15 other women that's saying they're woman. What makes you stand out? And going back to your point, once a woman is chosen, like you said, she should be doing her upkeep, maintenance, and more. And more, because if that man see you putting in the work, that man will give his life for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just built inside of us.
Yeah.
We will work ourselves to death to provide a secure haven for the woman that we choose. Like I said, once you're chosen, this is the problem that most men have, but most men are afraid to say it. When I hear women talk about there's a difference between a girlfriend and a wife, you fucked up. Especially if you're religious, there is no difference. Because the scriptures say, he that findeth a wife, not he who maketh a wife, he who findeth a wife. That means you're a wife to be found.
Yes.
So this new age thinking, talking about, well, I become a wife after, no. This is why so many women aren't getting chosen. You're not a wife. So even after the first time we have sex, what you do afterwards is I'm going to know before. I'm going to have indicators. Red flags is going to be going up. She's not a wife. She's not a wife. She's not a wife. Or she's not a life partner. If you don't want to be have a state-sanctioned marriage, she's not a life partner. Okay, red flags. All right, well, let me see what that do. I want to see what that be like. Maybe afterwards, the real her is going to show up. The real you show up, oh, fuck, she ain't a wife. She not a life partner. Shit, I fucked up.
But then do you still continue to see what it be like?
Yeah, if it was good, but that's her compartment now.
And is that relayed to her?
I relay. I relay. I tell.
And I think that's a problem. Not all men do.
But most men won't.
No.
Because I say 60 to 70% of most men are betas.
But for
so
me,
they won't.
For me,
because they're afraid that most men are afraid that the sex is going to stop.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So for me, someone who is looking for a life partner or whatever, or, a monogamous relationship, if that feeling about me is had, I 100% want to know. Like I'm not even like I'm being completely honest. Like I would 100% want to know, because it doesn't necessarily even mean that it's gonna. I have a choice then to be that for you until whatever, you know what I'm saying. But know that's all you have for me, and that's all you want to be for me. But I 100% feel like especially if you know my place, if you know that I'm looking for something and you're saying that I don't fit that, like I 100% would want to know.
Okay, fair enough, and I agree. Now the next question, will you accept your place? If that's what you choose for that moment in time.
Yes, I'm saying yes. And that's what I'm saying. If I choose to stay and accept that, then just know that there's a chance that obviously, if something else and someone else. No, I'm saying if my end game is to find someone in a life partner.
I call bullshit.
What? That I wouldn't accept that position?
Taking it outside of you. Most women will not accept their position. Because you know why?
Yeah, and I can't speak for other women, but
because here's the thing. It goes back to your list that women have. That unconscious list that goes off in your head. But the mistake that most women make is that to a man, you lose value in age. If we were not together when we were young and we grew together, if I'm coming in your life, you lose value in age. Why? Because if a man is reaching his financial peak in age, most successful men want to have children in their 40s because they're financially stable. There's some type of stability. The best women to have multiple children in his 40s is women in their mid-20s. So that is when her sexual marketplace value is at an all-time high. The older a woman gets, her sexual marketplace value decreases because now having multiple children wears on her body. That's nature. That's not men.
No.
Not other women saying it. It's just nature.
Yeah.
So when men choose women, depending on the category of her age group, there are specific things that we're looking for. Men still need a 50, 60-year-old man still has to be attracted to a 40, 50-year-old woman. Whether they're still sexually intimate or not, a man still has to be attracted to the woman that he chooses. Beta men are getting alpha men's leftovers. And I say that in no disrespect. The thing is, y'all chose the beta because the alpha that you wanted didn't want to.
No, and I'm not going to disagree with you, because I also feel like, to go to your statement about, how we lose value and stuff like that. If that's what you're looking for and you don't get chosen by the alpha male that you wanted, but then a beta male comes along and you're good enough for him, and that you're decreasing, and that, you're running out of time, you might pick that.
And I get that, because all women innately look for security. Y'all have been lied to, y'all have been tricked, y'all have been duped to believe that you can find security in a surety. They don't exist together. Can you build within? Of course. You can build anything within any construct. The problem is, men don't choose women and say this is a sure fit. No. We grow together and it becomes a sure fit. A lot of women, y'all get older, and because you gave the most precious thing away when you were younger to a man that you may not have been in a long-term relationship with, or you may not have been married to, which is your womb. Men want a legacy. Men want children. If both parties have children, okay, what's the next step? What value do you bring to that man if you have a child and he has children? Because now, outside of sex, the stakes is even higher. It's hard. Fuck with me. If not, I got to move on. And let bygones be bygones. No love lost, no disrespect lost. But I can't give you sexual energy anymore if you're not going to fuck with me. I got to go. And this is where beta men are good, because beta men will give a woman sexual energy in the hopes of getting some yoni. And alpha like, hey, if you're not gonna put out, and fuck you, all right, cool. I'm going on to the next one. It's not about the sex, it's about cooperation. See, and that's what betas and a lot of women don't understand. What men want, it's all about cooperation. It's all about submission. It's not about dominating. That's why I said cooperative and submission. We have to see a woman be able to submit on all levels. Do you submit to your brother? Do you submit to your father? Do you submit to your employer? Do you submit to the guy at the gym? If you submit to all those men, you should have no problem coming home and submitting to me. Most women have a problem with that. They submit to their boss. Why? Because their boss writing them a check. They submit to the guy at the gym. Why? Because the guy at the gym is giving her sexual energy. He's helping her create the body that she wants. So she's being touched. She's being, saying, okay, we'll do this. He's getting you in position. So you're getting that energy even if it's not intentional. You got, whether it be your gay male friend, he's still giving you sexual energy in the sense of it's masculine. It's masculine energy, which all women want. You're getting it from him. You're getting it from beta males who wants to sleep with you, have no chance, but they're still giving you their masculine sexual energy. Then you come home, you have no sexual energy to give to your man. A lot of women have a problem with that. So yeah, when we run into a woman who is feminine, who is cooperative, who is submissive, we have a hard time in the sense of, is she playing games? Because of all the fuck-tardery that we had to deal with other women before we got to you. It's your job to make us see your worth.
I agree with that.
But another issue is, I love the women who know exactly what their worth is valued. The women that I laugh at is the women who overvalue their worth. Because I'm looking at them and I'm like, baby, you say you know your worth, but what you're expecting, you're not it. And I get it. Like I said, women have been lied to for the past 10, 15, 20 years. Fucking, what is that? Body positivity, and man, fuck that. Men want what we want. And we're tired of women trying to force us to accept them, and it's not what we want. You're not it. Get yourself together. We don't care about your money because it's not our money. What we care about is your body. How you look. If I take you out, are you going to be an embarrassment? Do you know how to be feminine? You know how to smile at other men that say that you look nice. Not flirtatious, but complimentary.
Yeah.
So many women don't know how to do that. So the man that they're praying for, they'll never get. Because they're not it. I feel sorry for the women that I can look at and be like, you so much more valuable than you even realize. Because they're undervaluing themselves. The problem is they've never had women mentors in their life to mentor them in their value to let it shine. That's what, I've told different women, look, these areas you're fucking great at. Acknowledge that shit and let that shit go. Because I'm telling you, you'll get so much further if you stop worrying about this and allow this to shine. But I get it. A lot of men out here are more bitch made than a lot of women out here, so they're scared to tell women that. If I can be honest with a woman that I'm fucking, a woman that I'm not fucking, you ain't got shit coming. And I when I talk with men, I tell them the same thing. The relationship that me and my father has, you ain't got shit coming. Because me and my father went through hell and high water to have a relationship that we got and we create and that we reside in. Nigga, you ain't about to sit up here and come to me disrespectful and I don't know you and we ain't been through shit to build a relationship and a rapport. It's the same thing with a woman. Sweetie, know your place because I'm going to do me. I'm going to handle shit because I'm building different things. Can you fit in? And then if I tell you that I got a brain fart, can you add value when it comes to my business? So, I mean, we can talk about this all night, you know, and one of the hardest things, I think, one of the hardest things that I think and I believe is the disconnect between men and women. I don't have to understand you to know you. I don't have to know you to understand you. Men are who we are. Point blank period. Women are who y'all are. Point blank period. It is a man's job to mold the woman or the women that he's dealing with to his future. It is a woman's decision to choose, is she going to deal with him into his future? Whatever and wherever her position lies, stay in your position. If you want more, if you want less, have that conversation. Don't be delusional about it. Because a lot of women are good at hitting agendas in the sense of having hidden contracts with a man who told you this is what it is. And so many women I've heard, well, does he mean this? No, he told you what it is. Well, but I heard, no, that's what you felt. You didn't hear that because he told you what it was. He told you what it is. He told you what he didn't like. He told you what he liked. No. And I know it's hard. You ain't got to like it. But you got to make a decision. Mm-hmm. You got to make a decision, you know, and most men, you know, if they're not married young and they're with their wives into their old age, most men that are coming into their financial stability, we choose carefully from this point on. And I know you mentioned earlier about the ticking time clock. And I get it, you know, women our age, you know, they're like, well, we got to hurry up. We got to hurry up. And men are like, shit, I'm just now hitting my stride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women don't realize and understand, y'all hit y'all stride 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, because that's when y'all came in the height of your beauty.
Yeah.
And every man wanted to see what that be like. 18, 19, 20, 21 for us, a lot of men, first of all, don't have money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're working jobs, barely paying rent. We just bought a $2,500, a $3,000 car, to get back and forth. Y'all beauty is y'all currency. So when a man reaches 40, 45, 50, and he's starting to hit his stride, and he's getting into his financial currency, and women are like, well, hold on, well, what about us? Baby, you spent your currency. So now you need to, your standards and your expectations don't need to be so high. Your ego needs to come down a notch. Because no disrespect to the women, your beauty is fading. You have children by a man that's not me. So now I have to take on responsibility that's I'm taking on more. And like I said, it's harsh, but this is reality.
Yeah, 100%. But I think honestly, like, it's communicating all of that, and then it's making a decision. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all it is communicating, finding out what it is, and then figuring out if that's what you want to be, if that's what you are okay with.
Y'all heard her. We're gonna end it on her last thought. We always say communication is key. And that goes heavy. You know, and I get on the fellas all the time. Let your woman, let your girl know where she stands, what it is, what it isn't. Give her the decision. I mean, because if you're a certain caliber of man, you have options. And I get it for men who don't have swag, who don't have the resources. I get it. Your options are extremely limited. So I get it. So you're scared to be honest. You're scared to be forthcoming and truthful. So you bite your tongue a lot. I get it. My question is, when you gonna man up? Because if you being a man is gonna cause her to walk away, she wasn't the one for you. That's just what it is. Because a woman that chooses to stick with the man that she chose to stick with wants him to be a man, respectfully. Mm-hmm. So, but 108 times Amanda said feelings. So reach out to her and cop the fucking t-shirt.
Tell me what you think.
Fuck your feelings. And tell me what you think. This is the sports gray. Mm-hmm. She has the black one. I got the, now if you want, I love the little guy fucking the feelings. Like when Amanda, when she sent me the concept art from our print lady, like, I got a huge kick of it, and I'm like, yes, I need that in a tank top. And I love it. I love the little guy. And I'm going to do some t-shirts like that. Like I said, family, we're working on merch. We are working our ass off. You know what I'm saying? And any way that you want to support, so, you know, that we can continue bringing content, so that we can upgrade the equipment and have better production. You know, you can go over to Anchor. When you listen to the podcast, you can support that way. Reach out to Amanda via IG, via Facebook. Give her your size. The t-shirts are $30. T-shirts are $30 because it's both side print. So I got to make sure that our print lady is taken care of. If you want a shirt shipped to you, it's $8 shipping fee. That's what it is, flat fee. If you are in the Cuyahoga area, if you're in the Lorain County area, we will get your shirts to you directly and in person. So like I said, reach out to Amanda. She'll take care of all of that. Get your shipping address if you want it shipped to you. Get your size, collect your money, deal with her on that. If you reach out to me, I'm going to send her to you. So just go directly to her. But that's it, family. What's the proof? What's your proof of concept? You know, are you in denial and delusional? You know, do you overvalue your worth? Do you undervalue your worth? Or have you gotten your worth, value down to a T? You want to know, men and women, you want to know what your worth is? Ladies, look at the men that you have around you. Fellas, look at the caliber of women that is attracted to you. And, like I said, look at your network. And as a man, that's what your net worth is. But until Friday, I'll be coming to you all from the other studio. I'm gonna see what we're gonna talk about so I can get up under y'all's skin. Oh, for the past couple weeks, the episodes are up on Anchor at Mr. Podcast or Mr. Candid Podcast. So go over to Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, RadioPublic, Spotify, and follow the podcast. Subscribe, like, share, so you can get your alerts. And I think that's it.
Yep.
So I pray that I said something to aggravate y'all and to get up under your skin so you can go and do the work. Because that is my job here. Amanda, she has a love-hate relationship with my aggravation. But here's the thing. I want her to get the best that she works for. Because what she deserves is what she works for. And anyone in my camp and in my circle, this is what we do. Iron sharpens iron. We do this, you know, and this is what we do. So, you know, we brutally honest with each other, but we love and respect each other as well. But like I said, family, until Friday, love y'all, appreciate y'all. Get the merch, subscribe, share, like, agree, disagree. I don't give a fuck. But I love y'all anyway. Until Friday, catch y'all. Deuces.